Hello there, and welcome back for our next video on one variable data. If you turn to section 4 and scroll over to the page about a dot plot, I'm going to give you the definition and then show you how to make one of these graphs. So the first thing we need to do is define what a dot plot is. And I'm just going to write the definition and then we will talk about it and actually draw one of these so that you know how to use one. A dot plot is a data display that uses a number line and dots. Or other symbols. It doesn't have to be a dot. It can be a square or a star or a triangle, whatever you want to use as your symbol, to show how often each data value occurs in the set. And don't panic. I know that sounds terribly complicated, but I am going to show you an example of how this works. And here's our word problem. I asked 20 people how many baseball games they watched last year. Here are the results. Construct a dot plot and then find mean, median, mode, and range. So the numbers in this box, there are 20 of them, and these represent the 20 people I talked to. Okay. We need to find our minimum score, which is a 0. That's the smallest. Several people, or 2 people, said that they didn't watch any ball games last year. So the minimum is 0. The maximum, the highest number, was 6. So I always want to know my minimum and maximum numbers because that will help me to draw my graph. So the minimum was 0 games, and the maximum was 6 games. So when I go to draw my graph, I only need to cover that space. I don't need to go all the way to 100 games because nobody watched that many games. So what we need to do is draw a line, a straight line, horizontal. And then we need to mark off some intervals on the line. I'm going to use every 4 spaces. So if this is 0, there's 1. Count 4 more, 2, 4 more, 3, 4 more, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I need 1 more, sorry. I have to stop and count there. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And remember, these represent games. So I walk up to the first person and I said, how many baseball games did you watch last year? And she tells me that she watched 6 games. So on my dot plot, I'm going to put a dot above the 6. So that's the first person that I talked to. The second person said she watched 2 games. So each of these dots represents one person whom I spoke to. And I'm going to cross these off as we go just so I don't count anybody twice. Then we have a 1 One person said, I just watched one game. Next person watched 5 games. Next person didn't watch any games. That would be me. The next 2 people watched 2 games. So there's 1 person, 2 people. Okay. Then 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 1. 1 and 1. 3 and 4. One person said 3, one person said 4. 2, 3. 2, 3. 4, 1. 4, 1. And 3, 0, 1. 3, 0, and 1. So we have drawn a dot plot for this data. We need to count our dots. And how many should we have? How many people did we ask the question? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have 20 people and 20 dots. So that is a dot plot. Okay, let's find mean. So remember how you set up a mean problem or an average problem. You're going to have a lot of data on the top, and then on the bottom you have 20 people. That's the number of people you talk to. So that bottom number is pretty straightforward. Okay, on the dot plot, look at your 0 entry. How many people said 0? 2 dots, that's 2 people, said 0. Okay, on the 1 I have 6 dots, and they said 1. Then I had 5 people who said 2. I had 3 people who said 3. I had 2 people who said 4. I had 1 person who said 5 and 1 person who said 6. So we need to do some math here. And I think I'm just going to come in here with one more thing. Okay, so 2 times 0 is 0. 6 times 1 is 6. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 1 is 5. And 1 times 6 is 6. And then with my calculator and your calculator, we need to add up those numbers. Now you can put all that in your calculator, the multiplying. I'm just a little leery of that because that's a lot of places to make a mistake. Okay, so 0 plus 6 plus 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus 5 plus 6 equals, I came up with 44. 44 games divided by 20 people. So 44 divided by 20. The mean number of games is 2.2. So most people watched a little over 2 games. Remember, means sometimes are funny. I know you can't watch, or I guess you could watch 0.2 games, but we're just looking at an average. What is the average amount of time spent on this activity. So the mean is 2.2. Okay. All right, let's do median for this dot plot. And remember what median means. Median means middle. Okay. So we need to find the middle number of this data. Now, there are several ways you can do that. This is not the easiest way, but it's the surefire way, I'll say. I'm going to go ahead and list our scores, even though that is terribly not fun. Okay, so we had 2 zeros. We had 6 ones. We had 5 twos. Remember, for median, you always need an ordered set of data. 3 threes, 2 fours, a 5, and a 6. And we want to know where the middle is. So the middle of 20 is at the 10th number. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So right there's the middle. And we see that there's a 2 there. So the median for this data is 2. Mode is the one that is seen the most. And on a dot plot, this is very easy to see because it's going to be your tallest bar. Wherever, if you've spaced them properly, that's why I used graph paper, it's this tallest bar. More people watched one game than any other number of games. So your mode in this data is 1. And the range, we can find this one very quickly because we've already found min and max. Remember minimum and maximum? Range is the maximum minus the minimum. So the range on this data is 6. So mean, median, mode, and range of a dot plot. This is not an easy problem. There's a lot of new knowledge there if you've never seen this before. You might even want to watch this video twice just to really understand what you're doing. Okay, in the next video, we will look at another kind of one variable display. I believe it's a histogram, but I'm not positive. So I'll see you next time, and I hope you have a great day.